another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this Sunday evening, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. And share the video on all social media platforms. I hope and I trust that everybody had a fantastic but busy weekend. I say busy because, it's Christmas week, and most people, don't just see, their kids or grandkids. You go out and see your spouse's family, and then you see your spouse's in-laws, and then you go see your in-law. So most people, about the last 2 weeks of the year, they're going to somebody's house about every day. Hey there, Kevron. Glad to have you here on this Sunday evening as always. Thank you for stopping by. But if you're a college football fanatic and you don't care about all the changes, you just want to watch college football. And I always thought I was a college football fanatic, but I've discovered and I found out through all the changes in college football that I'm a Clemson fanatic, and I'll watch Clemson anything. And I've mentioned this, on the channel numerous times. If Clemson's on TV, I don't care if it's soccer, if it's volleyball, if it's golf, if it's softball, if it's men's basketball, girls basketball. I don't care if it's Clemson and I can find it on my television. I'm going to watch it. But I used to be that way with college football as a whole. It didn't matter what game was on. If it wasn't Clemson and the only game on was Kentucky and Vanderbilt, I would watch just to watch college football. But between wrestling, which everybody knows I have a passion for wrestling, and now all the college football changes, I have discovered I'm just a Clemson fanatic. Because I told somebody the other day that, with all the changes in college football, if they don't find a commissioner to fix it within 2 years, college football is going to be dead within 5 years. Because college football is no longer college football. But not only is college football no longer college football, it's not getting better, it's getting worse. Hey there, can of beans. Glad to have you here. And hey there, or we'll call you Big Monkeys. Glad to have you here. And can of beans and Big Monkeys. I think it's the first time I've seen y'all's names in the comment section. If it is y'all's first time being here, for whatever reason made you stop by the channel tonight, thank you very much. Feel free to give the video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends, tell your family all about the channel. We're almost at 1,600 subscribers, so thank everybody very much. I very rarely talk about how many subscribers I have, because to me it doesn't matter, because I don't make any money doing this. So if I had 10 million subscribers, it'd be good, but I'm not making any money on it, so what good's it doing? But it does feel good to see your, channel slowly but surely growing, whether you're making any money on it or not. So it does feel good to see the channel slowly but surely growing. I try to make my channel different than every other YouTuber, so that no matter what you like, there's a reason to watch this channel. That's why I do a dad joke in just about every single video. And I don't just focus on college basketball. I don't just focus on the NBA. I don't just focus on college football. I don't just focus on the NFL. I don't just focus on NASCAR. I try to talk about all the major sports. That way, if you're a baseball fan, there's something here for you. If you're a football fan, there's something here for you. If you're a basketball fan, there's something here for you. If you're a racing fan, there's something here for you. If you just like to hear dad jokes, there's something here for you. So I try to make my channel different than all the rest, so it does feel good to see the channel slowly but surely growing. But if you're a college football fanatic and you don't care about the fact that the game is going down the toilet, you just want to watch college football, this is the week for you because there are 16 bowl games this week. Now, after this week, there won't be many bowl games left outside of the playoff games. By the time we get to this time next Sunday, there's 6 or 7 bowl games left outside of the playoffs. But there are 16 bowl games this week. So I wanted to talk about all those tonight here on the channel to give you a preview of what's to come this week. Now, I was going to tell you each game time and the channel, but if you're a college football fanatic, I don't think I need to, because you know that outside of the 2 playoff games yesterday that were on TNT, there's only 2 bowl games that are not on the ESPN family of networks. And one of them is this week, and then one of them I think is next week, which is the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. And the Sun Bowl has been a CBS game as far back as I can recall. But outside of the 2 playoff games yesterday, the 1 bowl game this week that's on the CW, and then the Sun Bowl next week that's on CBS, every other bowl game is on the ESPN family of networks, which is either ESPN or ABC, but the majority of them are ESPN. So if you don't know what channel these games come on, you're not really a college football fan, because even just a college football casual viewer knows that most of the bowl games come on the ESPN family of networks and have for a long time. Hey there, Kent. Glad to have you here. Kent, I think it's your first time here in the comment section. If it is your first time being here, for whatever reason made you stop by the channel tonight, thank you very much. And hey there, JTA. Glad to have you here. But the bowl games this week start tomorrow when we have the Potato Bowl. 2 West Coast teams, Washington State and Utah State. And that game is 2 o'clock tomorrow. So if you have the pleasure of getting the whole week off of the holidays, there's college football on at 2 o'clock tomorrow. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Washington State and Utah State. And then on Tuesday, we have the Boca Raton Bowl. That game is at 2 o'clock. That is the Toledo Rockets and the Louisville Cardinals. Now, I wish every bowl game was called the Boca Raton Bowl, or like the next bowl game that's called the New Orleans Bowl, because it would be so much easier if every bowl game was just called whatever the sponsor is and then the city it's played in. You don't have to wonder, the Boca Raton Bowl, where's that played at? It's in the name. And you ain't got to wonder, New Orleans Bowl, where's that played at? It's in the name. It'd be so much easier if every bowl game was just a sponsor and the city. That way, you're answering all the questions off the bat. You know what time it is, you know where it's played, and who the sponsor is. But unfortunately, most of the games are not named after the city they're played in, but it'd be so much easier if they were. So 2 o'clock, the Boca Raton Bowl, which shockingly is played in Boca Raton. And then following that at 5:30, the New Orleans Bowl, which is Western Kentucky and Southern Mississippi. And then Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, we have the Frisco Bowl, the UNLV Running Rebels, and the Ohio Bobcats. Ohio fired a coach this past week for doing basically the same thing that Michigan Sherrone Moore did, except for he didn't threaten to kill anybody like Sherrone Moore did, but all the off-the-field stuff was the same thing. So Tuesday, triple header, 2 o'clock, Boca Raton, 5:30, New Orleans, 9 o'clock, Frisco. Then coming up on Wednesday, you have one bowl game that's been played on Christmas Eve, as far as I can recall. 8 o'clock Wednesday night, the Hawaii Bowl with California and Hawaii. And I could be wrong. I think I was about 11 or 12 years old when this happened, but I'm almost positive before the Hawaii Bowl was called the Hawaii Bowl, it was called the Oahu Bowl, which was OAHU, which I'm assuming is a city in Hawaii. And I think I was 11 or 12, and Georgia was coached by Jim Donnan, and they played Virginia in that bowl game, and it was on Christmas Eve. And then it transitioned from the Oahu Bowl to the Hawaii Bowl. But I think it's always been on Christmas Eve. Now, Christmas Day, back in the day, you had the blue-gray game, and I used to love to watch that game. But if you're younger than 20, you probably have no idea what the blue-gray game is, but it used to be at noon Eastern time on Christmas Day, probably for 20 years. But I think it's been gone now for about 20 years, but there's been so many bowl games added that I don't know if they'd have enough players now to have a blue-gray game, but I used to love to watch that because you got to see players from teams that you didn't get to see any other time. But if you watch this video, not live, but anytime, and you have no idea what the blue-gray game is, feel free to ask me, and I have no problem telling you. But I'm not going to take up your time on this video to tell you what that is. No bowl games on Christmas Day. We'll kick back off on Friday, 1 o'clock. We have the Game Above Sports Bowl, which is Central Michigan and Northwestern. 4:30 on Friday, we have the Guarantee Rate Bowl, which is New Mexico and Minnesota. And then 8 o'clock Friday night is the First Responder Bowl, which is Florida International and a UTSA. So triple header on Tuesday and a triple header on Friday. Now, if you've been keeping up, I've only told you about 8 games so far, and I told you there's 16 bowl games this week. Well, there's 8 left because there's 8 bowl games on Saturday. So if you're home on Saturday, you have no reason to leave your house if you're a college football fan, because the bowl games start at 11 o'clock Saturday morning, and there's 8. So they're on all day long. They'll be on from 11 o'clock Eastern time Saturday morning until about 12:45 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday morning. But the first game is 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time Saturday morning, the Military Bowl, which is Pittsburgh and East Carolina. Now, at noon, we have the Pinstripe Bowl, which is Penn State and Clemson. And the funny thing about that game is, back before the season started, most people had Penn State and Clemson playing each other potentially in a playoff game. So if you had Penn State and Clemson playing each other in the postseason, you're right, but it's probably the wrong bowl game. They're going to play in the Pinstripe Bowl at noon. And then at 2:15 on Saturday, we have the Fenway Bowl, which is UConn and Army. We're 59.94. Thank you for checking in from Germany. I have no earthly idea what time it is, but it doesn't matter. Nevertheless, whatever day it is and whatever time it is, thank you so much for checking in from Germany. And tell your friends, tell your family all about the channel. I'm sure somebody you know either likes football, baseball, basketball, wrestling, racing, or top 10 countdowns. 3:30 on Saturday, we have the Pop-Tarts Bowl, Georgia Tech and BYU. And then at 4:30 is the one bowl game this week that is not on the ESPN family of networks. 4:30, the Arizona Bowl, Miami of Ohio against Fresno State. And that game is on the CW network. And 59.94, no, I am not from Great Britain, but hopefully that doesn't matter to you. Hopefully you'll stick around anyway, but I am not from Great Britain. 5:45 is the New Mexico Bowl, North Texas and San Diego State. 7:30, the Gator Bowl, Virginia and Missouri. And then the eighth and final bowl game on Saturday, the Texas Bowl at 9:15, LSU and Houston. Merry Christmas to you, 5994, and God bless you as well. And like I said, thank you so much for checking in from Germany. Tell your friends, tell your family all about the channel, and come back some other time and bring them with you next time as well. Make sure they all subscribe to the channel. So 8 bowl games on Saturday, starting with the Military Bowl. So it'll feel like a regular college football Saturday because they'll start at 11 o'clock Saturday morning. The only difference is instead of having 15 games on at one time, you're only going to have 1 or 2 that overlap on occasion. For the most part, it'll be, one bowl game in each time slot. But hey, it's college football all day long on Saturday. So 16 bowl games this week. So if you're a college football fan, you should be excited about this week. But be interesting to see in the Gator Bowl with Virginia and Missouri if Bo Prabula will play, because he announced earlier in the week that he was transferring. And typically, most of the time, once you announce you're transferring, you don't play anymore. But you can't actually transfer till January the 2nd. So he's actually still going to be on the Missouri roster. So there's a chance he might play in this bowl game, but I don't think he will. And if he doesn't, does Missouri's backup quarterback have a chance at winning the job, or are they going to have to go out and find somebody? So watch the Gator Bowl on Saturday, Virginia and Missouri, to see who Missouri plays if Prabula doesn't play and how good he is. Hey there, Johnny. Thank you for checking in as always. Hopefully you have subscribed to the channel by now, Johnny, and given each video you watch a like and a thumbs up, and you tell your friends, tell your family all about the channel. But let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. My friend tried to take a selfie in the shower. It came out blurry. Turns out he had a selfie steam issue. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over,